What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow, an Aston Villa fan channel. How you doing, Gary?
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
Is that how bad your voice is?
Oh,
Like
mate,
it's completely broken.
From Wednesday, I am lagging. I'm getting old. I'm 45 now, and making these midweek journeys and getting back at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then trying to function. I'm struggling. It's 2 days on, and I'm like, and obviously I can't even speak.
Just to be clear for everyone, if you didn't see our previous videos, Gary managed to nab tickets to Everton away, and it looked and sounded like a bit of an arduous journey.
Well, yeah, it took us 4 and a bit hours to get there. Obviously, it was last minute. A big shout out to Acorns, John McGinn, and Villa for sorting out complimentary tickets. By the way,
we've got Megan.
Yeah, the journey was. It's the worst car journey I've ever been on. It should have taken 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, the car.
And I was sat in the middle in the back, right. My bum was so numb, right? When I got out of the car, I could barely walk, and we had to run to the ground to get there for kick. It was
just for everyone that hasn't seen, Gary, if you point up into this corner,
no,
the other corner,
that corner,
you should see a card, people. So that will come in, and that'll be that'll be the video of Gary's away day at Everton. But yeah, finally a freaking win away from home. Jesus,
and a clean sheet,
Gary.
Okay, positive. I'm going to be positive for clean sheet. Yeah, we win the game. Boubacar Kamara outstanding for played 90 minutes. Just the guy's a Rolls Royce of a midfield player. I really hope that's him back now and cemented in that role. Tyrone Mings shows what defending's about. Just no nonsense, head the ball away. Did what he had to do. Obviously, people will always question his ball playing ability, and it definitely shows. Just again, I think the previous game against West Ham in the FA Cup and on Wednesday just doesn't move the ball quick enough sometimes. Like, he doesn't see a pass.
He doesn't seem to use that left wing very much. Like, Dino was always there.
Yeah.
Matson was there in the previous game.
Yeah.
He seems to look at it, go, turn back to Conser.
Yeah. I don't know if that's coach. It's weird that this incessant need to kind of come across the back forward to build the play. I understand, but so often there's a decent pass on, it gives us an opportunity to break, and we don't take it. So that was a little bit frustrating. But the pair of them for me, Kamara and Mings were great on Wednesday. The atmosphere, I've got to say, an away day is just unmatched. Like, everyone's just buzzing, aren't they? And they're singing their hearts out, and it feels like you're part of something. Regardless of what's going on in the game, everyone's just like kind of either drunk or just buzzing to be there because they've managed to get a ticket. So it was a great atmosphere. Although I will say that Everton, they're moving to this super stadium, 55,000. Mate, they need to get some singers in there because it is the quietest stadium I've ever been to.
I mean, right? Look. Like, if Villa were playing as bad as they are, you would hear a pin drop. It's the same.
Yeah,
they're so bad. They are so bad. Let's just talk a little bit about the game because they were.
Yeah, they were dreadful.
They were dross until we scored. Like, probably actually the last 20 minutes, for some reason, we ended up under the cosh. But I don't think they could score if you just gave them the pitch and an open goal with no players on it. I think they'd somehow put into Rose Ed. Calvert-Lewin would trip over and injure himself.
He's just a shit Ollie Watkins. Shit Ollie Watkins.
I mean, very shit Ollie Watkins, considering your thoughts on Ollie Watkins, which we'll get on to.
No, because I'm getting this thing that I don't like Ollie Watkins, right? And
we're getting comments. We're getting comments where they're going,
I can understand why. And it divides the internet. People, how can you criticise him? And the stats are there. I'm not criticising the stats. I think he's a wonderful football player. Right? He brings a lot to any team. But no one, I don't care who you are within football, can sit here and tell me that guy is a clinical striker. Right? I've got probably footage galore ingrained into my retinas, right, this season alone, with the chances he's missed that have cost us massively. Right. Now,
But
In
the
just big,
the rebuff on that is always or rebuttal
yeah.
on that is always the thing is though is because of how he plays, that's why he gets so many chances. Because of his movement, because of all that kind of thing. So he's like that. Okay, example that first chance that he missed
Yeah.
against Everton, which was a bad miss. Pickford did well. Pickford did well, right? But he made that chance. He was there, and you watch it, and he anticipated that pass back was coming. He anticipated that, and he was already on his bike. He was running. I don't think another strike. I don't think every striker does that.
No, okay.
So they don't
Yes,
get that chance.
I agree, right? But what's the point? Getting into those positions and only scoring 1 in 10. Like, I get it, right? Maybe Duran wouldn't anticipate that movement, but if that was Duran on the end of that, that's a goal. Like, even in the stands looking at it, I'm like, he's gone for the far corner with
Yeah,
Pickford's position. If you look at it, you've just got to elevate the ball over him.
yeah.
Like,
He's just trying
just whip it into the top corner.
to
Don't try and place it
around him.
because or go round him, or go round him. Like, your two options: you either lift it over him or you go round him. Like,
Yeah.
because what you're doing is, like you say, Pickford does well because he comes out and he closes the angle down, which means it's got to be right in the bottom corner, and it doesn't miss by much. And it's difficult to be critical because he goes on and scores the winning goal, but the chances like that, he's had probably 10 of them so far this season, right? And he's missed every single one of them. Even when he got put through the goal for the goal, like Rodgers' ball was brilliant. In my head at that moment, I was like, he's going to miss. Like,
Well,
and
Pickford tried to do the same again, right?
yeah,
Like, and actually, in doing it, he made it a bit easier for Ollie because he came out and he was just like in the middle of the
other goal,
goal.
yeah, he couldn't miss, mate.
What are you doing? I was like,
Yeah.
you, what are you doing? But
So, but you
interestingly,
could,
because in the post-match interview, Ollie was actually, he is really hypercritical of himself. Like he was kind of going, should have had two, a couple of sitters in the first half, a couple of chances, probably should have scored. Glad to get my goal, and he kept on like reiterating, but I got my goal. So,
yeah.
I think,
Well,
for him,
mate,
the target is get a goal, however it is.
Also, in the post-match interview, he's like, he said his target's for 20 goals. He should already be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's had enough
yeah.
chances. Like, and he,
At
I
least a
will
chance
say,
a game.
look, I'm not. Again, I love him. You can tell he cares, right? The pressure's on him because Duran's been knocking at the door. We all know he doesn't function as well when he's got that pressure on him. It happened when Ings was around. He clearly cares, which is the most important thing to me. You could see the relief on his face when he scored. He was buzzing, and then after the game when he came over to the crowd, like Mings pushed him towards it and he got a great reception. It was great. Like, you can see he
Yeah,
cares. Like I've got nothing against him per se. It's just my opinion, right? Like an arsehole, I've got one, right? And it's just I just feel the clinicalness of any Premier League forward is the difference between finishing in the top 4 and the top 8 for us
and
now.
that was what it was last season, right? Like
Yeah,
he
and he
was
was
clinical. He was
well,
literally
yeah,
like you get one chance goal. Like it was
well,
guaranteed.
and he had 13 assists. Like, his numbers
Yeah,
like last year was crazy, right? And
yeah.
obviously it's difficult to live up to that. I get that, but when you've got someone knocking on your door with Duran, like we. You've just got to keep performing. Now,
Yeah.
certain players that we talked about this before, like, with signings coming in now, like you've got this Marlon coming in. Is Bailey is that the rocket up the arse that Bailey needs? He's with Dina and Matson. Dina's just been flawless. You go,
Yeah,
how is he
yeah.
performing like 3 years on?
We've talked about this before, though. Dina just keeps on seeing competition off, but like I think we'll have this conversation slightly separately. But like
Yeah.
Marlon, I think actually sometimes might also play alongside. I think he's also another option for Rodgers. Like he can play that kind of number
Well,
10
yeah. I think
striker role as well.
my point is, coming back to the Everton game, because I know I digress, but you kind of got players around the team now that have probably been a little bit comfortable, and I've mentioned this before in terms of still on Wednesday, the tempo of our play is too slow. Right, Everton was shit, and we should have battered them, right? And our goal difference, mate, -1. We're 7th and
Yeah,
-1. That is
not
not
good.
good enough. Right, that is not going to get us European football. We need to start turning it around. Right, Wednesday, hopefully that. I'm
But
fingers crossed, praying catalyst.
clean sheet, mate.
Yeah, clean
Clean
sheet.
sheet, and we kept on saying clean sheet is the key because we weren't going to score more than one goal in that game because the way Everton play, one goal was going to be all it was going to be that was in it.
Well,
Whereas
I think
if
what
we
was disappointing.
conceded, we would not have won that game.
No, I agree, and we came very close. But what was frustrating? Like we were on top in the first half and should have gone in 2-0 up. Right, Watkins and JJ chances.
Oh, that chance for JJ. I mean, he's had to hit it first time. He's had to, but like, God,
mate. The thing is, this is what happens. Watkins is rubbing off on other players.
That's a goal.
Mate,
surely he scored that a million times as well.
He has to score. Like there's you just. I came into a half time. I was just like, I had to calm myself down before I did the video, and even then I was like, because it's just, again, it's the difference, isn't it? And then we start the second half. Well, like first, we scored the goal. Like I thought, okay. I
thought we were going to
go on talking to. Like we're going. We scored the goal. As soon as we scored the goal, the tempo dropped again, and Everton. I'll say, like defensively, pretty sound, right?
Yeah.
Created some chances
that will happen when you got that will happen when you got a defensive line of 6, by the way.
Yeah. So, well, of course you limit the space, don't you? But they should have, and they will probably come away from that game going, well, Villa aren't that good, and actually we probably should have got a point, and they should have. Calvert-Lewin should have scored at the end. That chance was 4 yards out. I don't know how he missed.
Just on that, I mean, if you look here, so for instance, the stats. So it's quite funny because they actually have like the shot stats at the bottom of here.
Yeah,
it's here, and it even says here, like you can see both squads. So we've got even throughout the game, and then we score. We don't have a single shot.
Yeah.
From 51
minutes. Yeah.
We didn't have a single shot, like off target, blocked, anything. It was just Everton.
Well, you know what's interesting about that, right? Because after Watkins scored, he kind of was probably the only one that was trying to create something. Like he flicked balls on, but JJ and Rodgers were just sitting so deep.
I think JJ was blowing. Like JJ
he was.
I mean, he's done, what was it, 80 minutes or 85 minutes or something that he did in that game.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised Emery didn't make a couple of subs, but maybe I was thinking about, I think I said in our WhatsApp and stuff, like I'm wondering whether he's thinking that sometimes those changes he makes on like 60, 70 minutes are affecting our backline, are affecting us defensively, and that the players then coming on, having to try and get into it, they're losing battles and stuff, and then we look a bit weaker and we end up conceding. So maybe he's decided to try and keep them on, to try and keep that solidity in the midfield, because Onana was booked at what, 8 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
I was very surprised he didn't come off at 60, because I was like, this is a walking red card. Like, really
well, they were trying to get him sent off, mate. Everton were. There was one where he I mean, it was barely a foul.
It was like a little pullback on it, yeah.
Mate, but he can't be giving it. But they all surrounded the referee. They all surrounded the referee. It should be. Well, let the law, you do that because only the captain can talk to the referee, right?
Yeah, start the season, right? They were kind of enforcing that, and that's all gone out the window.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. But I think it was interesting because I was surprised that Duran didn't get any minutes, right?
Me too, yeah.
I think, to go back to your point, I think, and Emery's post-match interview was he was chuffed to bits. He was absolutely thrilled with the result, right? So I think you're right. I think I'd be interested to see who starts on Saturday against Arsenal, whether he's saving Duran's legs. But obviously, as I do, I always kind of keep a beady eye on Duran, right? So I'm watching him warming up from the mate. He just doesn't give a fuck. He was not doing anything. You got all the stuff. He was told to warm up, and he literally just strolled down the touchline.
Oh, I've seen him do his warm up before.
And
that is a thing. That is a thing, though. Like, as in, like, I remember, like, on the Wrexham documentary and stuff, that, and I've watched like some things on like semi-pro footballers and other pro footballers, and like a lot of the time they're doing the warm-ups right themselves because they want to be kind of like ready for if they need to come on. So that's why they do the warm-ups themselves, unless they're told to go warm up or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not proactively doing that, then I think a lot of them also do it to like put themselves in the manager's mind. It's like, look, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm warming up. Duran don't give a shit. So if he's just like waltzing around and stuff, maybe Emery's like, well, you're not bothered. So, and
It,
Ollie's doing okay here.
yeah,
So maybe, and
mate, he
like you said,
definitely didn't push
actually,
back.
after
He literally just stood like where they were, and he didn't move.
just chatting, he was just like,
chatting.
yeah. What are you doing the weekend? Yeah. No.
There was people running around him, and he was just walking. He must have took about 3 steps to his left and right. That was about it. I thought, oh my god, he ain't coming on.
I've seen him do like the halftime like walk from the sideline, and they're all like, when they've run and like to scoop the ground, and they're all like, he literally just like he just doesn't give a rap.
He doesn't.
That's useful naivety for you.
I hope there's nothing more deeper than that. I don't know if Henry's pissed off with him about the sending off at Newcastle. Thought it was harsh. Maybe not the sending off, but maybe the reaction to it and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Maybe because Emery came out and said he didn't agree with the decision and stuff. He felt like it was wrong and stuff. So
yeah,
and they did appeal it. But maybe, or who knows? He's the thing is like, okay, yeah, Watkins isn't clinical. He's not hitting this thing. He's not like hitting the numbers he should be. But his last 3 games, or 4 now actually, because that one as well. Has he scored in every game, or he's scored in like 3 of them? Got an assist.
Yeah.
So you can't. Yeah. You look at that and you're like, well,
no, mate, I'm not arguing with the stats. I'm not right.
No. I'm not saying you in general. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying any other team or any other player, you'd be sitting there going, well, yeah, they're going to start because he scored.
Yeah.
And he got an assist, and he's got 2 goals and assist in 2 games. So it's like,
yeah. And I assume that with him scoring on Wednesday, that he'll probably start against Arsenal.
Yeah. And like you said, he looked like the only person who was trying to create anything after we'd scored.
After we scored, he had a good second half. Ollie did. I didn't think he was great first half. He didn't really get on the ball, but second half, once he scored, confidence, goals, it changed everything.
So his goal was like his 7th touch.
Yeah.
So that shows you how little he touched the ball in the first half.
Well, apart from his chance, I don't think he did. Genuinely, it's interesting because at the moment even if I go back to the West Ham game, that first half, he was dreadful. Him and Rodgers in that first half were dreadful. They didn't touch the ball between them. And then apart from the goal involvement, which people will go, okay, well, it changed the game, won the game, right? That was it. And we're at a crucial part of the season now. We've got massive games coming up. Like this next fortnight, for instance, is going to determine where we're probably going to be, because we've got a chance to qualify for the Champions League, and we've got a chance if we win the next 2 games. I know Arsenal's a massive ask. I take a point. Right? I know it's a massive ask, but if we were to win, we won there last year, right? If we turn up, we're capable of beating anyone on our day, and Arsenal will be weary of that, right? And I don't think they've been great in the last 3 games. I know they won on Wednesday, right? And then I would expect to beat West Ham at home, 6 points from them, and to win in the Champions League against Monaco, and then again, big ask, away ask, but 3 wins all of a sudden. And our season's open up again, and we need to do now what we did last season, which we haven't done this season, is go on a run of games. We need 3 or 4 really positive results, so to kickstart it, because if we get those, it's game on, mate. Like top 4 challenges on.
All of a sudden, we'll have I think if we win our next 3, we've won our last 3, haven't we? So that would be a run of 6 wins.
Yeah,
which is like red hot form. So
it's red hot form, and it breeds confidence, mate. And you would say with players coming in, who knows what could happen?
I take a draw against Arsenal. I mean, we'll have that on the preview show. But just keep the points ticking over. We need to keep it going.
Well, look, even the players are saying, like in the post-match interviews with Morgan Rodgers and Ollie, like kind of like they're all there going, like, we know we're not at the heights we were last year. We need to be better. So I'm confident that Emery, if anyone can do it, can get these players to raise it and get a run of games going. I think people coming back from him, JJ coming back from him, Kamara, like I say, he played 90 minutes on Wednesday, and that's massive because he hasn't completed 90 minutes since he come back. So hopefully he's unscathed and will go into Arsenal's game full of confidence.
I mean, just on that, I think if I can quickly get this up actually on screen, present file, blooming heck, this isn't there. This is seamless, guys. This is just the way.
This is the way modern technology works, my friends.
Those stats are insane.
Yeah.
So
he needs the credit, mate.
Yeah, Kamara and Mings were an absolute rock. Mings cut everything out in the air. That is his big thing. Conso actually, they were cutting out balls left, right, centre, blocks, all sorts. But this is mental. 86% passing accuracy, created a chance, 69 touches, 9 passes into the final third. From a holding midfield role, 100% tackle accuracy. That's bonkers. A ball cleared off the line, 3 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 3 interceptions, 3 recoveries, 7 ground duels won, 100% aerial duels.
Yeah.
And he was fouled 5 times.
Yeah. Rolls Royce, mate, as it says about
different gravy.
You know, and I don't really like to talk stats, right? But because I think it can sometimes like ski with the view of what you're actually seeing. Stats are great because they say one thing, but it's actually what you're seeing real time and what you see on the pitch. So, you know, when people, it's the same like with Watkins, when people go, oh, look at the stats, you go, yeah, but I'm looking at what I'm seeing in the game and the crucial moments. And so this is a difference. Like when I talk about Kamara, I'm like, okay, I'm noticing everything that he does off the ball, right? The positioning, those stats were perfect. And I think he got player of the match officially, right? So, and that's what you got to do. It's one thing. It's great having the stats because it shows what's going on, but in reality, you've got to produce the magic on the pitch, and those are the things. As a central defensive midfielder, those stats is exactly what you were seeing for Ollie as a striker. His chances to goals ratio needs to improve. He knows that. He's not stupid. He'll be going. Yeah, I want to be better. My problem is when confidence is low and you've got someone knocking on the door for your place, you don't always make the right decisions, and that's what he's done consistently this year. He needs to just put that to the back of his mind and go, I am Villa's number one, and that is my shirt to take off me and Duran. You ain't doing it. If that's the competition, it's between the two of them. Like I would have liked to have seen on Wednesday, particularly with 20 minutes to go, right? Bring Duran on for JJ, because JJ was blowing at that point.
Let's him together,
right? And play him and put Watkins out onto the left and put Duran through the middle. But get a partnership going and say to them, look, Ollie, you're going to be on the left, but just interchange between the two of you. Make sure someone's develop a partnership, because ultimately that is going to throw off defences. It's going to cause chaos, and I think if they can play together, which I think they can, but they don't. That it's competition at the moment, and that kind of is, I think, hindering us a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think. Like we've said before, I think actually a lot of the scrutiny is also coming through because we're leaking goals, and because we're leaking goals, it means to score 2 goals a game, Ollie's probably going to get 1, and then you need something from somewhere else, and then that's when you kind of start questioning how clinical he is, that kind of thing. Because if we keep trying to keep those clean sheets, like that clean sheet was massive. You could tell the players as well. They were shit. Those last 15, 20 minutes was heart in the mouth, like horrible. Players were like flinging themselves at the ball, throwing their bodies in. They were doing everything. And when Beto came on, I was like, oh God, big guy. There was actually a bit where I think we were running back and Mings got drawn out to right back. So Mings was at right back and Cash was coming in and covering at centre back, and the ball came in, and I was just like, "This is disaster!" Like, but luckily it went over his head. But like, it's that kind of thing that can really mess you up. But
mate, I would take for the rest of the season
1-0
to win every game 1-0.
Just get 1 goal a game.
1 goal a game, and him to miss 50 chances. Do you know what I mean? If that was the case, I think that's a valid point. Keeping the clean sheet is massive. We haven't done it nowhere near enough, but we need to.
Twice?
Yeah, mate.
Before that game, we did it twice this season.
Well, like I say, so that's a shocking stat. I still can't get over this. Our last away win was Fulham in October. October 19. That is
terrible. 5 away losses on the trot.
5 away.
I think also they weren't. I think most of them weren't close. The Forest was a frustrating one. Well, but like I think in general we weren't at it at all.
No. Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool, we were dominated really. Battered by Spurs. And these are games actually last year that we won. We beat Chelsea away. We beat Spurs away.
Right. And that's why we clawed. We were taking points off those above us. Whereas gifted them all 3 points.
So, I was talking to my nephew about this, and he was like, buzzing about the result on Wednesday, and he was like, "Oh, Champions League race is back on." I said, "Mate, it's a massive ask because we've got to play all the teams around us, right? We've got to play Chelsea again. We've got to play Newcastle again. We've got to play Spurs again. We've got to, we've got to play Liverpool at home.
Yeah.
Like these are all games
So it's all
that
in our
if
own hands, which is good.
well, absolutely.
But
But it's a big ask, isn't it? Because all these teams are going in for the same thing. Newcastle are on fire at the moment. Liverpool, it's theirs to lose.
it's also about when. I think some of it also
Got to play Forest at home as well.
I think we've also been quite unlucky with when we've played teams. So like Newcastle weren't great early in the season, then they were just on a massive run of form when they played us.
Yeah.
Forest are absolutely unstoppable at the minute, so you're not going to beat them. Now we've got Arsenal. We played City, we beat them. They're in not a great run of form. We've now got Arsenal, not on a great run of form. If we can start to like try and actually get our own form up, so that when we're playing teams who are on form, we're not off form.
Yeah,
I think that's a little bit of that as well. The timing of games hasn't been great, and we just haven't really got going. But hopefully now we can really start to kick on. But clean sheets, I think, are super important. So that's one clean sheet. Let's get. I mean,
I'll take it.
Let's get another one against Arsenal, but I can't see that happening. But who knows?
They've got a striker situation worse than us, mate.
They have, but they've got players all over the place. But we'll go over that in the preview. But
I think
go on.
Clean sheets are inevitable now from going forward. It has to be the main target. I think if we can do that, we give ourselves a fighting chance going forward.
Yeah, exactly. And one last thing was no celebration from our man Amadou.
Yeah, it didn't really, but I kind of understood it. I think, but myself, it was like, okay, I have respect for Everton. He's come from Everton. But then there was 2 or 3 people around me that were like, effing and jeffing about him, going, "That's a disgrace." Like,
they really like incensed.
Well, yeah, because he's like, he's one guy next to me was like, it's not as if he's come through their youth system. Like, it's just what's going on. And also, the ground was empty. All the Everton fans had left.
Right. Okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean,
so that was the fair point. And he teased it, and he kind of teased it, and he came over, and he was like, "Ooh," and everyone was getting all excited.
I think Kamara was going to him, going, "Oh, are you gonna do it? Like, do you think?" And then, he was doing it, and then he just went, "No." And then he was doing all this. He was like, "Please, like, thank you, love and that." And he was like, I mean, I do love Onana, but there was a couple of like kind of simple, sloppy passes. He's done that a little bit since he's come to us. Really, I think he's generally pretty good. He's great in the air, so he's great defensively in the air. So it's really nice to have that height. He's got good passing range, but he's just sometimes a little bit off it.
Yeah.
And the problem is that where he is, if he loses it, it's quite dangerous.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, at the start of the season, he came out the traps flying, didn't he? Scoring goals, and then he got injured. And I think he's been carrying that injury for a while.
I think that's happened with a few of our players, if I'm honest. And the only way you can really get sharp is by playing. So,
well, yeah, but hopefully these are all little things that are on themselves out. I thought he had a decent game on Wednesday. I thought he, like I say, there was a couple of passes, but overall he was pretty good. He did play some nice through balls to Dini down the left. We didn't, again, because of our tempo of play, we didn't support anything that we did play forward in the second half, which was really frustrating. But that's just the way it is. There's these little things. JJ, Boubacar, and Arna. These are 3 players that are probably crucial to the way we play now.
Yeah.
Particularly JJ and particularly Kamara. Kamara's, again, just, he's had that little run of games, and all of a sudden, bang, he looks like the player he was. JJ's not a million miles off it. He obviously needs game time, but he looked like he was blowing on Wednesday. And Onana, I think he's slowly getting there. I think he wasn't bad against West Ham, and I think he played all right on Wednesday. So hopefully, another performance on Saturday against Arsenal. And then I'll tell you what was interesting as well. Just going back to the Onana celebration, as that was happening, Martinez came over, and he took his gloves off, and Villa fans think, "Oh, someone's going to get his gloves," and then he went and gave them to an Everton kid.
What?
Yeah, I didn't get that. Yeah, and like.
Villa fans are like any like kid who's down the front trying to get there.
But he high-fived the steward. I don't know if one of the stewards had asked him for it. Like, I couldn't quite see. I think the kid might have had a sign or something. I don't know, but
Oh, right. Strange.
it was weird, and I was like, "What's it?" And I don't think anyone kind of noticed because he came over, took his gloves off, and then everyone started singing, "Oh, Eddie Martinez,"
Yeah.
and then as he was walking off, he didn't give the gloves. I thought I was just going to keep them. But then he walked towards the goal, and then there was a keep there, and he gave the gloves, high fived the steward, and pissed off. And I was like, "That's weird.
Strange, isn't it? That's
What's
weird.
going on there?"
What a random little tidbit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, well, that probably does us for this episode. So we're going to do a preview, which will come out probably later today. I think this is going to go out today. Today's Friday, recording this. So this will go out today, and then Arsenal preview will go out later today. We'll probably catch up on that later. We'll also be having Josh, a friend who of the channel, who is a Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fan.
He'll be on. He'll be on. He actually came last season or the season before, where we were 2-1 up against Arsenal at home, and we ended up losing 3-2.
4-2. It was 4-2.
Was it 4-2? He came.
We hit the bar. They hit the bar when after Martin's head, and then Martinelli did that stupid celebration. Yeah.
Something. He honestly, he just got me in a headlock. It was like it sat in the Villa fans, and I was just like, this is grim.
But let's talk about the 2-0 away win at the Emirates, because that's obviously come up from last season, doesn't it? Let's we'll just see how you felt about that one.
Brilliant. Well, thanks everyone for watching. As always, pop down in the comments, subscribe, all that kind of stuff.
Hit us up,
and catch you next time.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.